Welcome to Radically Loved Radio. I am your host, Rosie Acosta, yoga teacher and teacher trainer, mindfulness coach, speaker, and creative writer. I am also the founder of radicallylove.com, a website where you can go for more information about yoga, mindfulness, meditation, and lifestyle advice. On this podcast, we talk to people within our health and wellness community that are creating content through the ritualistic practice of yoga, meditation, or overall mindful living. We hope to create value in your life so that you can achieve your highest potential and live a radically loved life. To stay in touch with us, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Rosie Acosta and on Facebook at Radically Loved Rosie. You can sign up for our newsletter on radicallylove.com to stay up to date on future workshops, retreats, and latest podcasts. Hey everyone, I recently got an email asking what my morning ritual was. And the minute that I started to write everything down for this particular listener, I felt the desire to just sit down and hit the record button and just tell you guys about it. That way I could share it with more people, because I'm sure there's more people out there, especially some of you listening, that are curious. How many of you have felt like you're rushing out the door and you start your day with like a million things to do, and before you know it, something or someone has rubbed you the wrong way or somebody cut you off and you automatically go into a fit of rage or you just suddenly snap? I feel like a lot of the times these patterns are coming from a place of not only overwhelm, but a place of reactivity. Sometimes when you don't have a moment to really, I'm saying air quotes, wake up, it creates a little bit of anxiety throughout the day. I know that for me, I have this thing where I wake up and I do my morning practice and I have my ritual and I do my tea and I sit and I do my meditation practice. And it's not until after I've done all of my things, wake up, do the neti pot, do the mantra, do all of it, go for a workout, then I feel like my phone can go off of airplane mode and I can actually begin to function and interact in the world. In fact, I don't actually even see Tori until after I do my morning practice, because it's so important for me to wake up in a place of wholeness, kind of like an empty canvas. So I'm going to share just 5 easy practices that you can incorporate into your day to create a more grounded framework for the rest of your day. So the first thing is to wake up with a purpose or wake up mindfully. Or with an intention. So intention refers to the underlying motivation for everything that we think, say, or do. So from the mind's perspective, when we act in unintended ways, there's oftentimes a disconnect between the unconscious impulses of the lower brain centers and the conscious, wiser abilities of the higher centers, like the prefrontal cortex, which is what is activated when we meditate, especially over a long period of time. So I like to always wake up with an intention. So I might ask myself, like, what do I need to do today to take better care of myself? Or how do I need to show up today to make an impact? Or how can I feel more connected today? I kind of just prompt myself by asking these questions. And after I find something that I can commit to, then I get out of bed and I feel good about it. It's sort of like just setting that intention as the gateway to creating my day. The second thing is eating mindfully. Like when I eat breakfast in the morning, I don't have my phone out. I'm not listening to music. I have a little like breakfast nook that I can sit at. And what I do once I make my oats or my granola or whatever it is that I'm eating, eggs, whatever it is that I'm eating that morning, I I take a moment and I sit down and I breathe for a second and I'm looking out the window, and then I start eating and I listen to my body and I eat according to my hunger, not according to this portion of my plate. The next thing is to take moments throughout the day where you can actually pause and give yourself a moment to just take a deep breath in, exhale everything out, and just sort of reset. If you think about it, we're shallow breathers. We go about our day most of the time thinking of something and not breathing. I mean, think about what your body does when you're sitting in front of a screen and you're reading something. Ask yourself, is your body breathing? So if you take little moments throughout the day, even if you set a little timer, one of my students has a little timer that goes off every hour. And it doesn't have an alert or anything. It just pops up on her phone that says, remember to pause. And I love that because in that moment, you just can take a beat and remember that you're in your body, you're in your breath, and you can take a moment for yourself. The next thing is working out. So for me, working out means activating my mind and activating my body. I need to have a workout every day, whether that's my yoga practice in the morning. I actually like to sweat, so I have to be able to do something that's going to be a little bit more demanding than my hatha yoga based practice in the morning. I go for a run or I go take a cardio type of class. I need to be able to move my body with the amount of time that I sit in front of my computer and I record a podcast, or I'm responding to emails, or if I'm creating a program. Like, these types of things are important. You know, your body needs a moment to sort of recalibrate. So inactivity can really, cause different types of dysfunctions in the body. So movement is definitely important in the spectrum of creating a daily practice. The last thing I want to share is, for those of you listening to this podcast right now and you're driving, create a mindful driving routine. So there's nothing like, hi, you guys, I live in Los Angeles. Again, yes, I grew up here, but I had a beautiful stint living in Portland, Oregon, where I didn't experience the level of traffic that I do here. And, being in traffic can trigger the fight or flight response. I use this as my time to drive myself calm and not crazy. I think it's important for us to really be mindful of the space that we're in so that you're not activated while you're sitting there in a car, if you're lucky, and it's comfortable. So use this as an opportunity to listen to a podcast, to listen to an audiobook, to practice some breathing, to just really get present with what's happening instead of thinking of all the things that aren't happening. What is happening? Maybe there's some scenery that you've never noticed before. Maybe there's a tree to the right of your off ramp that you've never noticed before. Now that you're paying attention, you might notice. Why is this important? It's important because it puts you in your body and it allows you to be in a place of presence as opposed to a place of reactivity. It also creates a sense of ease, and it might make you feel a little safer and maybe a little bit happier. So just thought I would share a couple of those easy steps to create more ritual or better practices in your life. Thank you so much for listening. And if you're driving, please drive safely. Oh, and don't text and drive. Thanks. Is there something missing in your life? Is there something that you want to do in the world to create an impact but feel that it's overwhelming? So many of us walk through life feeling unsatisfied, overwhelmed, tired, and desperate for a deeper connection, but don't quite know how to achieve the things that we want in life. Join us this spring at the Dunsky Castle in Scotland for 7 days of yoga, meditation, and yoga nidra, all focusing on finding your life's purpose. During our time together, we will learn how and when to take action, how to lead from our heart and not our head, how to break up with our inner critic for good, and dive deep into learning about desire and discipline and how this creates a purposeful life. For more information, go to radicallyloved.com, or you can message us at info@radicallyloved.com, subject Scotland. We'll see you soon. Hey listeners, we need your support. Help us by subscribing and rating to this podcast. Send us a snapshot of your review or comment, and we will send you a very special Radically Loved gift. Send your comment to info@radicallyloved.com. You can also click on the show notes here on this podcast for more information. If you want to be part of our community, please click the link to our private Facebook group on the show notes of this particular podcast so you can be the first to hear of upcoming trainings, retreats, and special Radically Loved events. Thanks so much for listening.